I'd expect all of these revelations are sparking a lot of reaction across the city.
6 News' Brent Weber is tracking that for us tonight. He joins us live now from the newsroom with the latest. Hey, Brent.
Hi, I've spoken with 3 of the 4 attorneys for the accused in this case. All declined any formal statements. Most recently, I spoke with Glenn Shapiro, representing Johnny Palermo. Now, he said his client plans to enter a not guilty plea at Monday's initial appearance in Lincoln. Earlier, I spoke with the attorney for Vinny Palermo, who he visited today at Saunders County Jail. He does expect the councilman to be released after that initial court appearance. In fact, both of those attorneys saying their clients are not flight risks, nor are they dangers to the community. That's their opinion. There is no bail in these cases, so it's either stay or be released. Now, to some of the responses from city leaders, Mayor Stothard's office says that according to city charter, Vinny Palermo cannot be kicked off council unless he's convicted. Palermo could still be removed from office for missing council meetings. If he misses meetings for 3 consecutive months without being excused, he would lose his position. Now, if Palermo resigns or is otherwise removed from office, the remaining council members would vote on a replacement. The mayor's office also issued a statement calling for Palermo to immediately resign, saying he violated the public's trust in the council. Omaha's police chief, Todd Schremer, also commenting today, saying the indictments speak for themselves. And, quote, Schmaderer says, "I am appalled, but unfortunately not shocked at the content of the federal indictments. As the federal investigation continues, there is a possibility that more arrests will be made." The Omaha City attorney also released a statement saying there's nothing so far that prevents Vinny Palermo from remaining on the council for now. On your side, live in the newsroom, Brent Weber, 6 News.